You would know the actual time frame. I just know the saying. What else do you know, Lottie? I love your brain. I love your brain, girl.
I don't have that Trevor, Michaela, Cedric mind though. Like they be knowing all kinds of random stuff.
I just see backup. I just see my brain would just be compacted. If I can't act it out or do something with it, I'm just like, that's just too much information at one time. That's just for me. You ready?
Yep.
I'm Joy.
And I'm Tease. Sorry, y'all. I can't. I don't. I popped my ear. I clapped too loud.
Welcome to Mindset Talks with Joy and T. All right. Well, on today.
Wait, time out. Is it Talks Mindset or Mindset Talks?
You know what? Every time you always, I don't know.
I think it's Talk Mindset.
Joy and T's talk. Yes, you're right.
I don't know how I put it on the videos.
Well, let's go look. We need to get this. Why is it that this is so hard? Guys, today has been a rough day for my girl. Just rough. She's dragging. She's heavy, and I'm one of those, hey, as a interactive, I can feel people when they're heavy. But today's topic, I was like, I'm not going to do the talking today because we have some great just sessions that just happen. We really need cameras all around the house to get all of the footage, but we typically miss it a lot. But this was a conversation, and it's about a thermostat. So if you need a topic today, hot and cold, thermostat, whichever one that we decide to go with. But
Neither.
Oh, okay. She has the final say on that. I don't do the editing. But I just thought it was good stuff. And I was just like, how is she? Because I could see what we had talked about when I saw her day. I think that's what kept coming to my mind. Because you were saying then when I had her to talk to me about it again, she was just like, you didn't even get it. It wasn't that I didn't get it. I just got the concept that I wanted out of it because I was really feeling for you. I could just see the highs and the lows, the hot, the cold, but still having a mindset to do what we have to do. Life goes on whether or not it's a good day or a bad day.
Yeah.
Whether we're up or down, but it's really how we deal with it. And I really wanted her to bring this concept, and I would just play along and come back at the end. Is that okay with you?
Sure. My man just went blank.
It happens to me all the time. Welcome to Joy's world.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. It's not necessarily her that didn't get it. I am horrible at explaining things simplistically. Like, it takes forever for me to get to a point. And it's because I start thinking about everything that I want to say and how it should be said, and I just be doing the most. So I was probably doing the most that day because I had just learned it, so I was really excited and had to get it out. So she got every explanation that I could think of.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. She just learned it. Tease is always bringing us. Guys, before we bring y'all something, we try it ourselves.
Yes.
And so we've been working with these planners and different programs. And I just think it's neat how her mind is. That researching and going and getting information, that is her thing. So just know that. I don't know why I had to tell y'all that. I just think it's so neat that you just have to learn. You have this like huge appetite to just get more and more, and mine doesn't just happen like that. It has to be, oh, the car broke down, hold on, let me go get some information to fix the car. I'm not just sitting over here talking about I wonder how cars run. But your mind works like that. It'll be just like let me see if I can get more knowledge in this area. I love it. I love your brain.
I be wanting to know it, but the retaining though has to be me wanting it. Nobody can just come with extra information and give it to me
Okay.
that I have not asked for. Because then I'm like, okay, hold on. and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out if I'm being nice or mean, and to be present and listen to what they're saying, even though I don't want the information. So then I'm like, oh man, I have this to do. I need to get that done. And I don't know. Anyway, so I was reading, I am doing this planner that's a year long. And it talks about honing in on having a great year and making it intentional. So the guy that created the actual calendar, or not calendar, planner, so I'm thinking that it's gonna have days and you're gonna go in there, do your to-do list and all this other stuff. Nah, that ain't it at all. Like, I gotta talk about how I feel. If y'all have been in any of our Java with Joys, you already know I'm not trying to dig deep in my feelings. I don't want to write it down. Just tell me what the task is and let me figure out how to get it done. That's not what he's doing. He's really dealing with your mindset and having to go in and actually think about all the decisions that I've made in the past. And one of the quotes that he uses is, I want to say it's Les Brown, but don't hold me to that, guys. It may be someone else. But he was like, if you want a different result, become a different you. Do something different. I think that's what it is. If you want a different result, do something different. And so I was like, that is so simple, but it makes so much sense. So you had a quote, then it goes into this thing about the thermostat and the setting point. And so what he says is that we are like thermostats. We have a setting point. So if the setting point in your house, ours seems like it's always on 60 degrees because it's always freezing in this house, but I think it's really like 75 at the highest. Anyway, let's say it's 75. So you have the setting point at 75. Now, no matter where you go on your thermostat, whether you want to go hot or cold, it's always going to bring it back to 75.
Yeah.
And so he was saying you have to expand your mindset and your perspective on things, because it's never going to go above whatever your setting point is. And I started looking at that even in my own life. And it was just like, that is so true in certain aspects. Like, I literally don't go past whatever my belief system is about myself. So I say that to bring y'all to the things that were happening to me today. So just being transparent, I can actually say between grades 1 through 12, I had been to 12 schools. No, 10. I had been to 10 different schools within that 12-year time frame. So my learning curve is a little different, but it took God himself teaching me that. I don't know what I was reading in the word, but I got really frustrated. And I just really believe that God will cause you to reflect about things in your own life. I didn't have some audible voice coming in saying, this is what you should be thinking. I'm just looked back and was like, wow, there was really a deficit there. So whenever we were learning different things in language, I started saying, there are just certain things that I just do not know, because when I was learning it in school, I probably wasn't present, or I was in another school district or another state. So I didn't capture that. Now, being an adult, I have issues with certain things. So I was like, I want to learn Latin. But then I was like, well, have you mastered the English language? Nah. So let's go ahead and not that you're going to master it, but let's go in and learn some of the basic things that you do not know. So predicates, subjects, things of that nature. I know what they're talking about to a certain extent, but I don't know the rules for them. So I enrolled in this grammar class, and I started taking these grammar lessons. And last night I started watching Schoolhouse Rock because I remembered them talking about that in one of the schools that I had been in, and we watched the Schoolhouse Rock video. So I started watching that. Then as I was drifting off to sleep, I started saying, Latish, you too grown for this. Like, you should have known this. You should have went back a long time ago and gotten an understanding. I didn't. So then this morning, as I was reading my word, it wasn't the word that tripped me up. It was the fact that it was a very basic question that I did not know how to answer, not because I didn't know what the Bible said about the situation, but because I didn't know how to interpret the basic English language. And I had to go right back in and start studying really simple things. And it bothered me that I didn't know it. And so, anyway, that's what kind of, it just trickled down from there. Then, of course, if y'all know me, it wasn't just, oh, you don't know this. It was like, you don't know this and you don't know that either. And you should have known this. And if you would have known that, then this wouldn't have happened. And then it just trickled down from there. So I said all that to say, Joy was like, well, Tease, do you want to not do our podcast today? And I was like, no, because this isn't going to be the first time that this happens to me. There are going to be more times the older I get where I feel like I should have known XYZ and I did not know it. But how do I help you guys get past it if I don't get past it? Like, I often say that we learn how to get over our mother being murdered, but we didn't learn how to go through the process of dealing with all of that information. So as adults, we made bad decisions because we didn't go through the process. Kind of going back to what we talked about last week and being prepared.
You gave me a whole mental picture. I thought it was so beautiful because on this platform, you just made it totally open that everybody, you are to bring your struggles to the table. We all have them, but we don't have to be the thermometer. Now that's stuck on that wall.
Yeah.
Once you set it at 75, it's not moving. It's stuck. It has a set mindset, fixed mindset. But that same thermometer, when I walk over there and I changed, oh, go to 80, it's got to move.
Yeah.
I love that about God being that in our life,
Yeah.
that change agent.
Yes.
You don't have to stay where you are. You don't even have to be here. I was giving you a way out because guys, I got in my feelings and I wanted to nurture. But I think we all do it. We'll do it, and God has called us to do some things. And there's some steps and goals and paths. We're gonna have roadblocks.
Yeah.
And if we relied on
Yes.
our feelings would be just a thermometer that's stuck up on the wall that has no ability to do anything. But when we start thinking about the way God created us and made us, He is that. He's the one who can come in and be the increase. Yes. That's the person walking over there to the thermometer and changing the settings.
Yes.
We're not stuck. But until somebody comes in and renews my mind to think differently, I can't move. And like you said, those feelings were real today. But I was really feeling, I was just like, we need to bring that to the table today because I want you to be free to bring your struggles. You know why? Because I haven't accomplished anything in my life. The struggle is real.
Yeah.
People that know me know that it took, instead of 3 years of math, for me to get the same diploma, I had to do 4 years.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Everything I've done has always been the hard way. I wish business would have been simple, but I had to go through a bankruptcy. Yeah. I wish I could have just fallen in love the regular way, really, and had all these romantic stories, but I was on the, oh Lord, I was just yeah, thank goodness that I married a man I didn't love, but he went through that whole struggle with me because I had a struggle in dropping the walls to love because of things that happened in my past.
Yeah.
So, but we can help one another, and I'm so glad that you said through transparency. See, it takes faith to step out there. It takes faith to make those steps. But as I've been saying on Psalms 119, the message keeps coming. Take courage. It was almost like he was telling Peter, do you know who I am? Now that you recognize me, I've told you who I am. Now take courage and take that step.
Yes.
So I'm excited that she stood up and said, nope, this is what I'm going to do, because the enemy loves to remind us of our shortcomings and make them fears. If we don't move, they become traumatizing.
Yes. And I think that's what I even love about the story with, I called him First Lady and Pastor. I'm finna skip this, Joy, with you and Pastor. Because he had to get beyond his own mindset and take on God's mindset. And I love even when you give your testimony and you talk about it, and his response to you was, God didn't tell you to love me. That's my command.
Yeah.
I just need you to honor and to respect me, to submit like it commands you to do.
Yeah.
And hopefully the older women will teach you how to love your husband and your children and those aspects. And so even in seeing that with you guys, that's my mindset is I don't want to stay in a fixed mindset set, because that's what, like you said earlier, that's what that thermostat is. I want to make my heat go up or make my cold go down so that I'm able to adjust. And actually, I want the temperature to go up so that I can be who it is that he's called us to be.
Yes.
Because I don't know who this podcast is gonna touch or
That's
whatever
right.
the case.
That's
may be.
right.
So,
But the first step was you even making it known this morning. I could see it, kind of like when we deal with the disc. I could see the behaviors had changed.
yeah.
It was obvious to me something was going on. I just didn't know what it was. But if you wouldn't have been open enough to share it, and that's what we want. When we say, oh, let's have these free mindset chats, go to the website, it's because we understand that you need an atmosphere and a way to deliver it and to lay it out. Because that's how the enemy wins. If it's stuck in your head and you're not speaking and shining no light on it, that darkness grows.
Yes.
And then there's mold, there's all these other things that shouldn't be there when God is wanting to be the light in our life. And he sends that through his word, which is true. Truth then
Yes.
takes away the lie, because the lie will tell you you can't do, you're not good enough, you're not the person that should do. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he's giving us nothing. I don't care what our background is. We know people who's either got degrees, educated. We know people who are not, who have still accomplished great things because there's no limitation. If he called you to do it, he will equip you. Even if he
Yes.
has to send people in your life, he has to send a teacher, whatever. God never fails.
And even Paul says, and that's what God reminded me of even today as I was going through this whole situation, going back to you saying the word being that cleansing truth. And he was like, we weren't, maybe it was Peter. It was one of them P's. He was like, we're not great men. We're not profound in knowledge. We don't speak with all this grandeur. We were just your basic average dude that the Lord brought and in his magnificence and still performed his work. So
Yeah.
I really feel like it was Paul. Maybe both of them said it.
Now,
Anyway.
she ain't gonna get no rest, guys, until she gonna look that up and know it for sure.
Yes.
But that is our time on today. I'm so glad that you were able to connect with us. Guys, go to the website, www.joykmassenberg.com. Register for your free call, because I'm telling you, we're not telling you what we think.
Yes.
We've taken truths and principles, applied them to our own lives, documented what works, and then we share it with you.
And we're here to help the struggling writer, the struggling creative. What are those things, whether it be past or present? It may not be anything in your past. It might be something that you're dealing with right now. How do you get to the root of it? That's what we're here for. We take those free calls so we can hear and help you recognize through the tool that we use. Oh, you know what? This might have triggered that. So yeah, connect with us, guys. Yeah. And please leave in the comments what maybe some of the struggles you'd like us to be praying about with you. So that, because we're brothers and sisters in Christ. You're not in this fight by yourself at all. There are other believers that know that we don't get it overnight, that we're still working out our own soul salvation.
That's right.
That's it for me.
That's a wrap. Loved it. See you next week.
Maybe.
If God say the same.
Where are you going? You don't exit while you recording. That's my thing that I do.